and welcome to Catacris Magazine. We can be found on the web at www.catacris.com. My name is Jason J. Rock Houston. We're speaking with ex-Stuck MOJO lead singer Lord Nelson. How you doing today, Lord Nelson?
I'm doing well. What's going on, young man?
Yeah, so I guess the obvious question for people that want to know about your time with Stuck MOJO, what year did you leave the band, and what led to your decision to do that?
Well, we were on tour. I did 2 albums with Stuck MOJO.
Okay.
I did Southern Born Killers and The Great Revival. Really, I was just, in my mindset, I was just kind of filling in for Bones, the original lead singer.
Yeah, okay.
Who is my brother. We went to school together. We graduated together.
Oh.
He actually brought me to, Stuck MOJO.
Oh, wow, cool.
And then, Rich wanted me to help them finish writing some stuff, and I did. And then, Bones departed. I came in. I did my thing with 2 studio albums. It was a great time.
Yeah.
Probably 2000, I don't know, probably 2010 or so was the last time that I was with them. And the reason to leave, I just think that, Rich really started doing more with Fozzy.
Okay, I got you. Yeah.
Right. So as he started doing stuff with Fozzy, I still wanted to do things, and I always wanted to do more of a solo project also. So one of the bands that we toured with was Lies, which was a French band.
Okay.
They called me and they asked me would I, do a song with them.
Sure.
And I said, of course, because I did another song with my brothers, Vengeance, out from Napa, California.
Okay, yeah.
Those are my brothers, and so I did a song with them also. But then my guys for Lies were like, "Hey man, would you do a song with us?" And I was just like, "Of course I would." We just had such a good rapport on tour.
Yeah.
So they sent me the music. I wrote for it, and then they were like, "Hey, why don't you're working on a project? Why don't we just put this on your project?"
Wow.
So it became from me going to do something with Lies, then it became to be Lord Nelson featuring Lies. And so,
wow.
we did an album, and then I did another album with the guitarist Sebastian, which is my brother also. And that was it, man. And I've just done other things. I've done a few other projects, since Stuck MOJO, but I've just been having a ball with it, man.
That's cool. I dig the fact that, you're not just a one-trick pony. In other words, that, life goes on and you move on to other things, and you're still doing what you're doing. You're busy. Now, let me ask you one last question about Stuck MOJO. A lot of people describe them as kind of a rap metal band, so I imagine the audience is quite diverse. I mean, what was that like playing with people that are kind of into rap music and metal, kind of bringing the two forms together,
Stuck MOJO fans are some of the greatest fans that are out there. They're loyal. When I came in, it was a different thing, mind you, because I'm different from Bones.
Of course, yeah.
Bones is a different guy. I'm more of an imposing force. I'm a big guy. And, Bones is jumping around the stage doing this thing. You can never replace Bones, So that's why I always tell people I just filled in. The fans, since, were amazing. And, it took, I'm not saying it took a long time, but they, once they knew who I was and they saw what I brought to the table, then the majority of them were like, they embraced me.
And probably
it's not easy replacing somebody you love,
Probably a big part of that is that you went in there doing your own thing. You weren't trying to be a clone of what he was doing. I mean, I kind of equate it to when David Lee Roth left Van Halen, they got Sammy Hagar. I mean, myself, I couldn't, when it first happened, I couldn't imagine anybody replacing David Lee Roth, but Sammy came in, he was himself, he did his thing, and it's like 2 different bands, but I love it all,
Yes, indeed. And with those things, you're just appreciative of the fans.
Yeah.
I thank Stuck MOJO so much because it has allowed me to venture further into the music career that I love. I mean, even with me doing we'll get into it, the podcast, all of this stuff, that was the foundation. So I always tell Bones, I thank him for bringing me to it. I thank Rich and every single other member of the band for, being there and allowing me to see the world, because Stuck MOJO took me around, all through Europe to Russia. I mean, it was just beautiful, and I'm just thankful for it.
Well, I love that attitude too, and the cool thing about going on and doing other things is again, you got more freedom now to kind of write the songs you want, kind of go in the direction you want, and that's got to be that much make it that much more fun for you because you're doing what you love to do. You're doing your kind of more of your thing, if you know what I mean. And I was kind of curious, how did you come up with this name Lord Nelson? Because it's kind of simple, but I think it's a cool sounding name. There's definitely no other Lord out there. You know what I mean?
Well, there is a Lord Nelson over in England.
Oh, okay.
Rich Ward, and meaning like, Lord Nelson, meaning the Admiral Lord Nelson.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Right. So Rich really gave me that name. My name is Lloyd Nelson.
I noticed that on the Facebook page. Yeah.
Right. It just fits so easily. He's just like, man, Lord Nelson, it just fits everything. He said the way you carry yourself and everything, like you're royalty. I was like, well,
yeah.
I do feel that way.
Okay.
But I was like, yeah, man. I said I'm with that. I said let's roll with it. And so Rich Ward, he gave me that name. He put that on me, and I ran with it, and I still run with it to this day. I've embraced it, and I stand tall on it.
I love that. I got to tell you, Lord Nelson, not ever having talking to you before and just doing the interview right now, I love your energy. You're so energetic, and you're so fun to talk to. Now let's get in talking about the podcast, which is called Live and Loud with Lord Nelson. So tell us a little bit about how this came about and what exactly it is.
Well, okay. So first of all, I was asked to do a podcast so long ago when podcasting first started.
Okay.
But I just wanted to be an artist.
Yeah.
I didn't want to do any podcasting, but a friend of mine, this guy named Rodney Love, he was just like, you love to run your mouth.
Yeah.
He says, it would be awesome for you to have a podcast.
Yeah.
So I kind of browsed over the stuff, but I was like, nah, not right now, not my thing. So I just kept doing the music thing. But of course, when the pandemic came, everybody started doing other things.
Yeah.
I was still working on music, and I guess we'll get into it a little bit later. With my bandmate Matt Acevedo from Plastic Catastrophe with Lord Nelson. He lives in Texas. I live in South Carolina.
Okay.
But so I said, hey, I asked my son. I said, would you like to do a podcast with me? Let's do a father and son type deal because we have differing opinions.
Of course. That's gonna be fun. I imagine.
Yeah, me older, and so the podcast is called the Going In Podcast. And so we've done shows. We were really on our second season of doing it, but it came to a point to where we're still doing that, mind you, but it came to a point to where I just wanted to talk music.
Okay.
The Going In Podcast talked everything else, but I wanted to make it like 95 to 99% of just talking music of all genres.
Oh, yeah.
And, my thing is that, I'm not a genre snob. And, I came up with a thing like, what is genre snobbing?
Yeah.
It's closed-minded. It's a closed-minded inability to appreciate another genre of music. That's my thing. That's my.
I'm with you there, Lord Nelson. Even like where I post my interviews on our Catholic site. I mean, just to kind of give you an idea what you're talking about. I interviewed your friend Bones a couple times, and typically we feature like hard rock and metal artists. But you know what? I'm kind of got your same attitude. Like I thought, well, I'm gonna at least check it out first, okay? And he was probably one of the few rap acts that we've featured on the site. But I thought, like you, okay, yeah, he used to be the singer in Stuck MOJO. Why would I not interview him? Why would I not want to check out what he's doing? And I think a lot of people are closed-minded, like, hey, this is supposed to be a metal site or a hard rock site. Hey, what are they doing? Interview this guy. But you know what? Be open to kind of, okay, at least hear what the guy's doing. Check out his latest single, and then determine if you like it or not.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Not everybody's gonna like everything you do. I understand it, but see, Bones, Bones and I, we're military kids.
Uh-huh.
We grew up to where we were around a lot of different people. So we were around a lot of different genres. We listened to everything. So whether it be rock, R&B, metal, country, classical, pop, I don't care what EDM, man, I listen to it all because if it's hot, it's hot. It's just that simple to me. So I could never close my mind off to other music. But let me say now, there has been things that I'm like, I'm not feeling that.
Yeah, of course.
I don't hate it because I don't feel it. It's just not my thing. And so I think that's what, to me, and it's just my opinion, more people should open their minds to more things. And I just think culturally, it will, enhance your mental state so much more. That's me.
Yeah, I mean, even talking about, I've been a big supporter even of tribute bands over the years, and I'll tell you why. I call it rock and roll theater. I've seen some really good ones, especially ones that get dressed up. I mean, you might not be able to afford to go see Guns N' Roses when the actual band comes to town anymore.
Right.
It's $300 plus a ticket, so... but if you can go see somebody that dresses up like Axl Rose and he sounds just like him and take you back to 1987 when you heard Welcome to the Jungle for the first time, why not? Yeah.
You said tribute band. I'm thinking about my boy Don Leslie. He used to play in the band with Bones, the band called Bones.
Yeah.
And he's in an NXS tribute band.
Wow.
And they're dope. They're unbelievable. And so man, I feel you on that one, man.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah, and in fact, as much as I am into like metal and hard rock music, I also have an appreciation for listening to stuff like Tom Petty and the Eagles. I'll tell you why. Great songs, great songwriting.
What are you talking about, man? That's smooth.
Yeah.
Every time I see something on Facebook where they're showing Tom Petty when it was like Free Falling or I Won't Back Down, all those things like that, man, I'm loving all those because that's what I grew up on. That's what I know.
Yeah, that's what I call kind of guilty pleasures in the sense that a lot of people, you hear a song like Free Falling you mentioned, one of my all-time favorite Tom Petty songs. From the time I heard that song, I cannot get it out of my head. Every time I hear it, I just got to stop and listen to it all the way through,
Man, 100%. I just love music. Music is a time machine to me.
Yeah.
It'll just put you back in certain places, just make you feel so good. And and music is worldwide, man.
Yeah. And music has a way of. Music has a way of.
And I know you were talking. And I'm sorry, and I know I kind of got off because when we start talking about music like that, I get excited.
You know what? Me too. I'll tell you.
Talking about the podcast.
Yeah.
So after the going in podcast, what I did is I said, let me do this live and loud with the Lord. I've always wanted to do that if I was going to do it, and so I just put it into motion. I started getting in touch with people that I know, and some of the musicians, and surprisingly, at first I'm a super humble person when it comes to things like that, but a lot of the people said, of course I'll do it for you, Lord Nelson, of course. And so it was like it just started and it rolled, and then Chris Aiken, hey, love to him. Chris said like, hey man, after I interviewed him, I interviewed him and Joshua Toomey because they are, to me, they're greats in the podcasting field, and also Scott Bowling, which he'll be interviewing me here next week. And listen, just great guys getting together and having a platform. Chris has given me a platform to reach more people than I was just doing it, by myself.
And that's Chris from the.
I'm able to reach more people, and it's this great thing.
And that's Chris from a classic metal show, right?
Classic metal show, heavy metal television.
I love what he's been doing for years, and I'll tell you right now, Lord Nelson. Let's keep in touch because I've enjoyed the interview's not even done yet. I've enjoyed talking to you today. I'll tell you that much. And I think,
of course,
to have a podcast, you're gonna be very successful because you got great energy. You got a love for music. I think that's why you and me seem to be connecting because I could talk to music. I could talk to people about music for hours. And I think that's what's going to make your show that successful. The best advice I can give to you is just kind of be yourself. I've been doing this for years, these type of interviews, and I'll tell you, I've gotten much better. Like you do in anything in life, the more I do it, and I because what I used to do when I first started is I'd write out like all the questions, kind of. I'm going to be prepared and everything, and when you listen back, it kind of came out sounding kind of robotic. So you see how I kind of freestyle now, and it's like I kind of hey, I'm talking to somebody who loves music just as much as me. He's a musician. He's got a history. We'll talk about what he's done, what he's doing, and I think it makes it that much better,
No, I got you, and I hear you 100%. Because listen, even like when I write, I like kind of like things to be a certain way. And Joshua Toomey told me the same thing. And because I asked him, I said, what advice did you give the big guy on the little show, things that I should do? The same way you just gave me that advice. And I hear you guys, and I pay attention when you guys are speaking about things like that. And my thing is that I just have a love for life and a love for just human, just humans, and I just like good human beings, and so I guess it's like I want it to be less of an interview and more of a conversation, just like
this, yeah.
Right now we're having a conversation because even though I've never met you, actually, it's still good because it's just flowing easily and there's nothing to it. And that's the way I want it to be. I want everybody to be comfortable when they're having a conversation.
And like I'll be real honest with you. I'm not the biggest Stuck MOJO fan in the sense that I'm not going to sit here and lie and tell you I got a single Stuck MOJO album. I don't. But here's the thing. After talking to you, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go check out your stuff. Like, okay, I want to go and find out more about what this guy has done, and then maybe next time I talk to him, we'll have more to talk about. And then you kind of, with your podcast, you're going to bring in kind of you got a built-in fan base too, and then you're going to also get people that have never heard nothing about what you've done.
Right, indeed, and those are the things, just speaking with Corey Lowry, I've had so many people that have been in my corner and telling me like, hey man, you would do well doing this, and just, embrace who you are, embrace what you've done.
That's the best advice, yeah. And I am, and
I'm just, once again, I'm just thankful and grateful, and I just want to bring in all different kind of artists. And I know it's a classic metal show, but like Chris told me, just as you said, Chris, like, be yourself and do what you do. So I've got some great people lined up already. Everybody's will have something to do with music somehow or some way. So, but it's been so much fun so far. I've had such a great time having conversations with people. Like right now, I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this.
And again, I made a lot of great contacts doing this over here, not just with musicians and bands, but like with labels, with publicists, where they anytime they have someone to, kind of like, give you an example, the publicists you have, they sent me out a press release about your podcast and what you guys are doing, and that's how I found out about it. And you got the same publicist, just to give people an idea, as Doyle, legendary guitarist from Misfits, doing his own solo project now. But I mean, that's kind of a level you have reached. You got great people working behind the scenes here, and it's all about networking, as you'll see. And another thing, like I've interviewed, for example, legendary drummer Carmine Appice, like I think 2 or 3 times now, and it's hard not to kind of like, I'm thinking as I'm talking to the guy, oh, this is Carmine, one of my all-time favorite drummers, but you got to kind of just keep the conversation like you're talking to one of your all-time best friends, and I think you'll see after a while, maybe first time you talk to somebody of that status, you're like, oh, that's pretty neat. I'm talking to this guy. I got his record at home. I'm a fan of his band, but it gets to the point where it's just kind of, I'm just talking to somebody, but he's he's a musician, and we like a lot of the same stuff. It's pretty cool.
Right. I've always been a person, I appreciate and I respect what those people have done. Once I really got on that stage and started doing my thing, it's like I never wanted to bother people, I would always just, like, when we were at shows or at festivals, I'd always come back and watch the headliners, or if we were the headliner, or I'd even watch the bands that come on before. I just wanted to be a part of what was going on and show appreciation for the individuals and the music. I just wanted to let them know that, hey, I don't have any air about me. Yes, I'm confident in who I am. Definitely. But I have the respect for you as a human being and as a man or a woman to show you love the same way you show me love. So that's where I am. And that's what I'm going to do until the day I leave this earth. And I'm just, once again, I'm just thankful for all the fans and all the other musicians. I have respect for them. I really do.
And again, especially when you're frontman for a band like Stuck MOJO. I mean, like I said, you got quite a diverse crowd. You do kind of a rap metal thing, and I imagine you got to go out with a lot of different types of bands. And so that's got to be a great way to kind of expose your music to different types of people, make different kind of contacts, and the fact that you're going out and checking out the other bands you're touring with, that kind of creates a camaraderie, and that makes it that much cool, And so let's talk about what you're doing now, also with the music.
So right now, this is the second album I'm doing with my brother Matt Acevedo. The first album is called The Fire Starters, and it's out there now.
Yeah.
It was on M&O Music, and it's a great album. Matt hit me up, and he just hit me up out of the blue. We were Facebook friends, and he was like, he loves Stuck Mojo, and he was just like, hey, would you be interested in listening to some of my music? And I said, of course, send me something. And we laugh about it because the first song he sent me, he said that I never said anything back to him. And then I was just like, well, that's kind of odd for me. I must have been really busy. I must have been working on
my own music, yeah.
I might have been working on the No Power, No Crown thing I was doing. I might have been working on the second project that I did with Sebastian with Lies called Back on the Road.
Yeah.
But then he said his wife told him, send him something else. So he sent me something else. And when he sent me that song, I loved it, and I wrote to it. The song is called Action off the first album.
Yeah.
And bam, after that, we just started writing. I said, hey, I'm free right now. Let's do work.
And so
he started sending me music, and I just wrote, and then bam, I hit up my guy M&O, Alexandri, and he was just like, hey, let's work the deal out. We worked the deal out, and we put the album out on M&O Music. And then, now we're working on a new album, a new project, and we don't have it titled yet. We're like 25, 30 songs deep. But it's going to be a beautiful project, man. We're just having a good time. I'm enjoying myself.
Is there a projected release, like you're expecting to release it this year, next year maybe?
We're praying it's going to be this year. Dealing with my guy Keith Neto, he's doing some management work for us, and we're just taking our time. We don't want to rush. We want to make sure we do it right and proper.
But you're going to do it the old school way, where you deliver a whole album as opposed like to a track at a time.
Yeah, he's already heard the majority of it.
Yeah.
And he loves it, and so he's just like, we just have to do this right. So I'm like, yes, we do. We have to do it right. So I'm not trying to rush into anything. I just want to make sure it's right and it's can compete with anything else that's out there. But I don't have the budget that some of these the big guys have. So but we're just going to do our thing, and we're going to create great music, and give the people what we believe is beautiful, and we pray that they like it.
Yeah, I guess what I was asking, so when the new album finally does drop, whenever that is, you think you'll like release the whole album all at once, or do you plan to kind of put out a track, here and there?
Right, instead of just putting like singles out.
Yeah.
I think that we want, the climate is so different now.
Yeah.
With music, and once again, we just want to do the best thing that we can. Now, I don't mind going either way. I like releasing an album.
Yeah, I'm old school, actually, I'll tell you. Yeah. I miss the days of going to the record store. Yes, folks, there used to be a place where you could go to and buy your music instead of just online. Great times back then. I mean, I remember, for example, very first time I seen an Iron Maiden or a Kiss album. Not knowing anything about who the band even was at the time, I just thought, that looks so cool, I got to get that.
Yeah, the artwork, the liner notes and all that, man, that's what you waited for. You couldn't wait to get to that store and buy that album and read all the stuff on the inside. I'm there with you. Now everything is it's in your face, and the public wants it right now.
Yeah, and the thing I hate about that is it's like so immediate in the sense that when we were growing up, it used to like be a build-up. You used to read stuff like in Rolling Stone, Circus Magazine, whatever the magazine was of the day, or you didn't even know what songs they were going to play in concert till you went to the concert,
That's right.
And then the other thing is a lot of stuff like a new album, some band will drop a new album like this Friday, and then by the next Friday it's forgotten about, or you hear people, I'm not going to buy the whole album, I'm just going to buy one song for 99 cents.
Right. Indeed. Things have changed so much, man, but it was just, like I would always tell my son, we're driving, he's letting me hear. He's like, hey, check this out. And I thank him for keeping me up on a lot of hip-hop stuff, a lot of different stuff. They listen to all different kind of things, too. My children do also, because I'm their father.
Yeah. And let me ask you, though, as for your music, what do your kids think of your music? Are they a fan of what you do, or they say, oh, that's just my dad?
They actually love what I do. Now, of course, I'm still dad.
Yeah.
But they're always honest, and when I first got with Stuck Mojo, they were just like, especially when we did Open Season, they heard Open Season, and they were just like, wow.
Yeah.
They were Now they're all grown, but if they need me, it's like I'm dead.
Yeah,
but they have the utmost respect and they support me 100%. My family really supports me, and once again, I'm thankful for it.
And I was curious, like in regards to Stuck MOJO, I think that's why you guys weren't huge, but I think that's why there's a huge percentage of people still talk about that band, because you guys were so different from what was out there at that time. I mean, I don't really think there's been another band like Stuck MOJO, and I think that's why the band kind of still stands out.
Yeah, once again, Stuck MOJO fans, just amazing. And for me to come into a band that already had such an underground fan base, and traveling with them and seeing the love that they had. The first show I did with Stuck MOJO was in Macon, Georgia, and I remember a guy coming up to me as I'm walking in the back, about to go back into the venue. He said, "Hey, Lord Nelson," and I was like, "Hey, how you doing?" And he said, "Hey, man, we just traveled down from Cleveland to see you."
Wow, I mean, you see, at that point, you got your own little fan base there. That's totally cool. I was curious, have you ever seen Rich Roy play with Fozzy, and what's that like to go see, your former bandmate playing with another group of guys?
Actually, was not 2 months ago. They were here in Columbia, South Carolina, where I live now.
Yeah, I think.
And I went out there, and to see Chris and Rich and Frank was still with them at the time. And I've spoken with Billy Gray online, but then I got to meet him and PJ Farley, and it was just cool. But Rich and I, we just talked like we had just seen each other yesterday.
Amazing.
Nothing has changed. It's all love. I live my life on love.
Yeah.
That's where I am. I miss me with all the BS. I don't want to. If you're hating on your side.
Yeah, the reason.
I don't have time for that. I'm moving on. I remove myself from crazy situations. As I say, the world is not crazy; it's the people in it. So when crazy people get around me, and it's something that I don't want to deal with, I just remove myself from the situation. But Rich and I, we're good. He's an amazing guitarist. He's an amazing musician on all levels.
Yeah, no doubt.
I just salute him and have the utmost respect for him, and I believe he has the same for me, and we're good, man. Yeah,
because again, talking about being open-minded, I mean, the reason I brought up Fozzy, besides the fact that Rich is with Fozzy now, is the fact that I read stuff all the time online. People think, oh, Fozzy's a joke band, Jericho, he's a wrestler and all this, but you know what? Again, listen to the music, listen to the albums, check out the videos.
Right.
And it's amazing because while Chris Jericho, got his start in wrestling, he's one of these guys that he can kind of do it all. He can do more than one thing. He's capable of it.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Chris is an unbelievable individual. He's an unbelievable talent. And to do all the things that he's doing, you got to just have respect. I mean, you don't have to have respect for that, but you should.
You should. I mean, that's what I tell people.
Because everybody's not built to do those kind of things. Everybody's not built to go, from 0 to 100. Everybody's not built to do that. And what's cool, he really is.
And what's cool, besides he's got the ability to do it all, is that that's what's cool about a band like Fozzy. That it is a little different. Let's be honest. I mean, and he does bring a huge portion of that band's fan base is like the WrestleMania fans. I mean, that's cool. That's unique, and it makes it kind of different. And so, Lord Nelson, if anybody wants to check out any of your past recordings, that we've been talking about, where's the best place they can get their hands on the music?
They can find, of course, Stuck MOJO is everywhere.
Yeah.
I mean, YouTube videos everywhere. We were on Napalm Records at the time.
Okay.
At first, we did do, we put it out ourselves. The Southern Born Killers album. Then we got with Napalm, and then we released the second album with Napalm that I was with them. Of course, on M&O Music, you can
find out
my struggle between heaven and hell that I did with Lies. That's Lord Nelson featuring Lies.
Okay.
And then the Back on the Road album with Seb L is on Bandcamp. I'm everywhere.
Okay.
No Cover, No Crown. We did an album. Where did Big Steve put that? I don't know. I think that's out on SoundCloud.
Okay, cool. Oh, okay. And so people can also.
Hold on. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. And then the Fire Starters is on M&O Music also. You can find it there easily.
Okay. And so people can hit you up on Facebook as well, right?
Hit me up on Facebook, Lloyd Nelson or Lord Nelson Nation, Lords and Legends on Instagram, Lord N Nation on Twitter. I'm everywhere. I'm just out there, man. If you want to find me,
You'll find me. And
you'll find me. I'm out there. It's the big guy.
Yeah.
It's Lord Nelson, of course. CMS, Classic Metal Show, Heavy Metal Television, is where basically everything's going to be now. So I'm really embracing this opportunity. And once again, I can't thank Mr. Chris Aiken enough for bringing me into the fold, into his platform. Man, I'm just super thrilled, man. I'm thrilled to be on your show too, my brother.
Yeah, it sounds exciting, Lord Nelson. Let me ask you one final question. Has the first show aired yet, or when's that going to premiere?
Yes, the first show just aired Saturday with Chris Aiken. He actually put another one out there that I did, because I did a few shows before coming to it. And so, I've interviewed Corey Lowry of Caesar that used to be with Stuck MOJO. True Mats and one of the greatest metal producers, mixers, over in Europe.
Yeah.
Goodness, man.
Well, we'll just tune in to find out, but we'll just tune in to. I was going to say we'll tune in to find out, but let me ask you: is the show going to be on a schedule like it's going to air once a week, every 2 weeks?
Yes, sir. I was putting out 2 a week, but now it's going to be every Saturday
at
8 p.m. And Heavy Metal Television, no matter what your time zone is. So you're in Cali.
Yeah.
At 8 p.m., that's when it'll come out for you. If you're in Bulgaria, at 8 p.m., it's going to come out for them.
Wow.
So no matter what time it is, North Pole, Mars, Saturn, whatever, 8 p.m. your time, the show will be available for you to watch.
Well, Lord Nelson, it's been it's great getting to know you today and chatting it up with you. We'll have to do it again, but if you could hold on for just a minute, I'd like to ask you something real quick.
Chaotic Riffs Magazine.